Hey guys, we're back in it, and today we're looking at the metric system unit for volume. All right, guys, today we're going to be looking at volume. The last video we looked at area, okay? And it says the cubic meter is the standard for measuring volume in the metric system. 1 cubic meter is equivalent to the volume of a cube whose edges are 1 meter in length, okay? So let's look at this cube here, okay? Let's look at this cube showing below. And this cube, right, so think of it of like an ice cube, okay, guys? I think that's the best thing to think of when you're thinking of a cube. And the length, right, the length of one side of the cube is 1 meter, okay? The width, right, the width, meaning how wide the cube is also 1 meter. And the height, right, the height from here to here, which is also the height from here to here, the height is also 1 meter. So to find the volume of the entire area, right, the entire area of all within the entire cube, right, inside here and all within the cube, right, the entire area within this cube would actually be 1 meter squared, okay? So think of it, guys, as something that has 3 dimensions, okay? So before we were looking at 2 dimensions, which is just the area, but now we're thinking of things that have 3 dimensions, physical items in life, which have 3 dimensions, and that would be the volume, okay? So cool. So we have 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter, which gives us 1 meter cubed, okay? All right, guys. So the abbreviations of the most commonly used units are cubic millimeter. So this here you have cubic millimeter, which is millimeters cubed. Then you have cubic centimeters, which is centimeters cubed. And you have cubic meters, which are meters cubed. These are pretty much all we use for volume most of the time. All right, guys. And we have the conversion table here. All right, guys, and if we look at the conversion table here, we have 1 meters cubed is equal to 100 centimeters cubed, and this would actually be 100 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 100, which would give us 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. Cool. Same thing here, 1 meter cubed is equal to 1,000 millimeters cubed, which would be 1,000 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 1,000, which would give us 1,000,000,000 millimeters cubed. All right, guys. So first time you guys probably seen a billion, and 1 billion millimeters is actually equal to 1 meters cubed, right? 1,000,000 millimeters cubed is equal to 1 millimeter cubed. Cool. So we're gonna do some examples, guys, and I'm gonna draw this cube over here. Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna look at some examples here. But before we look at some examples, guys, I just want to draw a square again. Just gonna draw the volume one more time. And I'm sure some of you guys sketch a little volume cube sometimes when you're bored in class, right? So we're gonna look at it and just kind of get a feel of exactly what the volume is. All right. So sorry about that, guys. I'm not the most artistic guy in the world, but right. Okay, that's good enough. So this is a good example of a little ice cube here, and to find the volume of, let's just draw some lines here, because this would be behind the cube, okay? And let's draw some dotted lines here. So this, if you look at it now, it looks like an entire cube, right? So in order to find the volume of the entire area here, like all the space that is in this cube, right, in the three-dimensional plane, we would have to multiply the length by the width times the height. Okay, and in this case we use 1 meter, right? Let's suggest that each space is 1 meter, the length, the width, and the height is 1 meter. We're going to end up with 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, which will be equal to 1 meter cubed. All right, guys? Cool. Okay, so I think that represents the whole volume of something. Okay, so the volume is basically the space you take up in the room. So for example, you have a volume. You really do. Your body has a volume, right? If you go into a tub of water and the tub of water is filled to the brim, your volume is going to push out the water that's currently in the tub, right? The excess. So think of volume as anything in the three-dimensional space, meaning that it takes up some space, not just the top of a page or the top of a book, but the entire book, right? All right, so we have our conversion table here, okay? And since we have our conversion table here, we can do the questions, right? It should be really easy once we have our conversion table. And the first question says convert to millimeters cubed. Cool. So we know that 1 meter cubed, right? 1 meter cubed is equal to 1 billion millimeters cubed. So to convert this to millimeters cubed, we have to multiply this by 1 billion. Okay. So 1 billion, guys. Okay. And you end up with 6 0 0 0 0 0 0. Let's just move this down a bit. And 0 0 0, right? It should be 9 zeros. Okay, guys. Now, so for the next one, we have to do the same thing, the 0.7. We're converting it to millimeters cubed, 1 meter to millimeters cubed to millimeters cubed. So we're going to end up with this times a billion as well. Okay, guys. And, right. So we're going to end up with this billion multiplied by the 0.7 should give us 700 million millimeters cubed. Okay. All right. So we did this example. We should be okay here. Now let's move on to change into centimeters cubed, right? And we can see from the conversion table that 1 meter cubed is equal to 1 million centimeters cubed. So to change this to centimeters cubed, all we have to do is multiply this by 1 million. Okay, guys, and we should get 2 million centimeters cubed, right? All right, now this one, we do the same thing, 5.6 meters. We're converting to centimeters cubed, so we'll have to multiply it by a million. And we're going to end up with 5,600,000 centimeters cubed. All right. Okay, so for the last one here, we have changed to meters cubed, right? And we have 9,623,000 centimeters cubed. Now, we know that 1 millimeter cubed, right? 1 meter cubed, sorry, is equal to 1 million centimeters cubed, right? So to convert this to meters cubed, you have to divide this by 1 million, okay? So for A, let me just write it down here, we're going to end up getting 9.623 meters cubed, and that would be the answer. Cool. Now for B now, right? For B, we have 5,164,000,000 millimeters cubed, right? And we need to convert that to meters cubed. So all we have to do is divide this, because we already know that 1 meter cubed, sorry, is equal to 1 billion millimeters cubed, right? So all we have to do is divide this by 1 billion, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0, right? There should be 9 zeros. Let me just move this up a bit. Right, there should be 9 zeros, guys. And when we divide this by a billion, we actually end up getting 5.164 meters cubed. All right, guys. Cool. Okay, so we're finished with the units for volume. We finished all the examples. Okay, guys. And we should be good with volume now. I don't think we should have any problems. And we're going to go on to work out the volume of actual shapes in a second. All right. So we're gonna move on now, and we're gonna move on to capacity. All right, guys, which is the max that something can actually retain or hold. Right. All right, guys. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.